Creatures, demons, ghosts, creepypastas, urban legends, whatever you want to call them, this list has it all. Snuggle up with your comfiest things as we get spooky and dive into the top 10 mysterious Japanese creepypastas you should fear. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot we have the Yamamba. Okay, so you know how when someone tells you not to do something, it suddenly makes you want to do it more? Well, that is basically the basis of this creepy legend. Legend has it that one night a Buddhist priest was caught out in a storm when he came across a lonely hut. The old woman inside the hut was kind and invited him inside, and although she was welcoming, she gave him a warning to never look in the back room. Now, I'm picturing this hut like it's a tent from Harry Potter where there's so much room inside, but anyway, of course when this woman says this, it makes the priest want to see what the back room holds so much more. As soon as the old woman stepped outside to gather some firewood, the priest peeped through a crack in the door to peer into the back room. This is when he realized that the back room was filled with half-eaten corpses, and this kind old woman was actually a Yamamba. These creatures are disguised as harmless old women, but they're actually terrifying yokai, which is a sort of supernatural entity, and these ones like to feast on humans. The priest realized that she had lured him into her home in the hopes of him becoming the next meal, so he booked it out of there as fast as he could and never looked back. In our number 9 spot today we have the Yorogumo. I feel like that was pretty good for a first try. This creature, according to lore, is said to be a yokai that is half woman, half spider. She has the ability to appear as a beautiful human in order to lure unsuspecting men so that she can devour them like a black widow spider. Legend has it that one day a young samurai encountered an alluringly gorgeous woman on the streets. Many people would have been fooled by her appearance, but the samurai was not so naive. He saw through the disguise and immediately drew his sword, but was only able to injure her before she was able to scurry away. He followed the trail of scarlet that was left by her blood, and it led him to an old abandoned house. When he peered inside, he saw dozens of bodies that were bound in spider silk. In our number 8 spot today we have the Higusama. This legend basically is about a chicken that has human eyes. Yeah, listen, it sounds silly, but the more I thought about it, trulier the scarier that thought became. Basically, the chicken with its weird eyes is a demon or a monster who replaces the spirit of anyone who looks at those creepy eyes directly. And most of them have people realizing that they are in the presence of this creature right at the time of its hatching, leaving them with no chance of avoidance. It is said that chicks hatching at either 12 o'clock noon or 12 o'clock midnight are the most likely to become the Higusama, with the ones hatching at midnight being the most evil of all. In our number 7 spot today we have the Red Room Curse. This legend is one that is of the internet variety, and it begins with someone using the computer when a pop-up ad appears. No, it's not asking if you want to meet some local singles in your area. This legend says that the pop-up asks the unfinished question of, do you like? Of course, like with any pop-up, the person closes it and tries to continue browsing, but this legend has the ads more relenting than Pirate Bay. When the user continues to close the pop-ups, the question eventually will become finished and will change from do you like to do you like red, and finally, eventually it will read, do you like the red room? This is obviously a bad sign. No thank you, computer closed, goodbye. Once the question is officially complete, a website will now pop up that has a list of people's names, and the user will see their name getting added. Suddenly, they'll then feel a presence behind them, and the rest is gruesome. The person will be found later in a room that is painted red with their blood. It's terrifying, and we're all grateful that it is just a legend after all. In our number 6 spot today we have Hanako-san. This is a creature that originated during the World War II era. Hanako-san is said to be the spirit of a girl who passed away from an airstrike. According to the legends surrounding her, it is said that she can be summoned when you enter the girls' bathroom on the 3rd floor of a building. Once in the bathroom, go to the 3rd stall and knock 3 times and call her name. After this, once you open the stall door, it is said that she will be waiting for you. She appears as a sweet girl, but don't let this fool you. It is said that she is actually there to grab you and drag you to hell through the toilet. Sometimes, once you've completed the ritual, when you open the stall door, instead of Hanako-san, you'll find a 3-headed lizard that will condemn you for invading her privacy and then devour you. So really, it's a lose-lose situation no matter what. I don't know why you'd do the things. In our number 5 spot today we have Kune Kune. This story starts out in 2003 when it is said that people started reporting seeing strange things in the fields and gardens. It is said that these sightings were of sort of humanoid but seemingly fabric appendages wiggling in the distance. That is what the Kune Kune is, these strange sort of wiggling figures. It is said that they most usually appear on hot days and that sometimes they can be spotted looking like they're blowing in the wind even if there is no wind to be felt. Here's the thing with these creatures though, it is said that you should not go near them. If you see one, turn around and definitely do not touch it. If a person gets too close to one, it is said that they will go insane, and if you dare touch one, you'll be killed on the spot. The best thing to do is to ignore them. If you do, they should leave you alone, but the issue is, how do you ignore such a thing? In our number 4 spot today we have The Girl from the Gap. The Girl from the Gap is a story of a creature that takes advantage of a fear of small spaces. Whether it's a small crack, a small space, a crawl space, really anything you can think of, she can be spotted here. It is said that she is a ghost of sorts that haunts every possible nook and cranny there is, anywhere that she can hide. A hiding ghost. Great. I mean, that's insane to me because ghosts are already pretty hard to see, so a hiding ghost? No thank you. I don't even want to know what she's up to. Legend goes that if you make direct eye contact with a girl in the Gap, she'll ask you, do you want to try on any of our laid back and casual denim? Just kidding, obviously, different Gap. Legend actually goes that if you make direct eye contact with her, she'll ask if you want to play hide and seek. In our number 3 spot today we have Kotori Bako. We've talked about a few creatures and beings on this list so far, so it's time we talk about a malevolent object. Legend says that this object appears as a small wooden puzzle box that measures to be about 20 centimeters. By design, it's not exactly simple to open, I mean it is a puzzle box after all, but it's been said that some people have an easier time than others. But here's the thing. You should definitely not touch or open these. I mean, it's not recommended, and it's definitely not recommended that these boxes be taken home. Basically, it is said that these boxes are filled with a powerful grudge curse, and when opened or touched, this curse will move to the appropriate targets who are near. It is said that once the curse reaches a target, the curse will literally tear them up from the inside out. Like, their internal organs will be shredded into 1,000 pieces, which will be accompanied by excruciating pain. Of course. Ultimately, once the curse has been transferred, it is said that there is no way to get rid of it, so it is imperative to stay as far away from these boxes as possible. In our number 2 spot today we have Hashaku-sama. This is an urban legend that originated on the site 2channel, and basically it sees the narrator returning to his grandparents' house in the countryside. Here, he sees a woman who is over 2 meters tall wearing a wide-brimmed hat and who laughs with a strange sound. When the narrator tells his grandfather of this woman, he finds out that she is Hashaku-sama and that she has become enthralled with him. Here's the issue though. When she takes a liking to someone, they usually are found passed away within a few days. It is said that she only appears once every 10 years and that she is even able to take on different voices, which gives her the ability to lure people in by using the voice of someone they love. Her clothing changes a bit depending on who is seeing her, but she is normally depicted wearing a white flowing sundress with a white wide-brimmed hat. To defeat her, the help of an entire village is needed, but in terms of temporary protection, it is said that piles of salt and amulets can help, but not for long. It is said that she is the divine spirit of the town that she is bound to, but no one really knows for sure what exactly she is or how she came to be. In our number 1 spot today we have The Dream School. Basically, this story starts out with a boy named Kei who found himself wandering around a school that he did not recognize. The more he wandered around the school, however, the more confused he got. This is because this wasn't a regular school, it was this dream school in which nothing makes sense. He'd climb up the stairs only to find himself on the first floor again. He'd try to leave a room and enter the hallway only to find himself in the girls' bathroom, you know, stuff like that just wasn't making any sense. This is when he started to hear clomp, clomp, clomp. It's the sound of footsteps approaching him. Kei got a terrible feeling and began to panic. He found a note which suggested that the key was in room 108. What key? I don't know, but Kay instinctively knew where to go and he ran. He made it to room 108 and slammed the door behind him, but that is when he realized there were no lights in there. He heard the footsteps continue to get closer and closer until he heard banging on the door. Although he was scared, Kay opened the door and that is when he saw this creature, this mess of heads and limbs and torsos of a bunch of students all amalgamated into this one terrible, terrifying, swaying creature with all of these faces looking right back at Kay. Kay then screamed, realizing that he was in a dream, but Kay never woke up. To this day, it is said that Kay still wanders around the dream school trying to escape this monster but never able to get out. Legend says that if you still remember the story of the dream school a week later, then that means you'll be doomed to join Kay as well. I might have just cursed us all, so if so, I apologize. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I'll see you next time. Bye!